Another different type of video here. So you decided you want to become your own mechanic and do your own work on your own vehicles. That is a very admirable thing, and the greatest investment you can make in the world is in skills, especially mechanical skills. I've worked as a professional mechanic. I've worked on my own stuff since I got my first vehicle. I was 13. My dad bought me a thing called a Plymouth Arrow to learn how to drive a standard transmission in. And I drove it around our property. It was a piece of junk. Don't have any pictures of it. Oh, something like a Ford Pinto. And I started working on it. Well, actually, I started when I was 5. My dad and I put a set of Thrush mufflers on a 73 Chevy half-ton we had with a 454. It was a heavy half with a camper on it. So I decided to make a little video about tools, recommendations, what you might want to get when you first start out. And I would say the most important tool, other than my hands and my head, that I have is a ratchet. This is a name brand, Matco. This was not cheap, but at the time when I bought it, I just quit being a tech for a Honda dealership and all my tools had gotten stolen. I lost over $2,000 worth of tools, so I wanted to buy a decent ratchet because I had a Mac one, but with Matco, this is a nice one. I have had this since 1996, and I have beaten it up. I have abused it, and it's still holds its weight. If you're going to spend money on something, I would spend decent money on ratchet. But in the same breath, this 3/8 ratchet is aluminum from a company called Aries. I got on Amazon, $15, and not as nice of a ratcheting system as. But being aluminum, I have pride with this thing. I've put leverage on it that you probably wouldn't want to put on something aluminum, and it has had no problems. There's another 3/8 that I just got not too long ago, flex head. I've never had a flex head ratchet before. And it comes in handy when you want to get something out that's kind of hard to get to, and you stick it down in there and work it around. It is kind of a specialty thing. Again, I paid like $25 for this. And then this is my Craftsman half-inch drive. Honestly, not a big fan of Craftsman ratchets. This came in a set, half-inch drive, and it comes in handy. So, along with those, I would say spend your money on a decent set of sockets. Oh, I have a mishmash of sockets. These are probably, yeah, these are Matco. I bought these without ratchet. The shallow 3/8. Pretty much everything I have is metric. Deep well. These are probably Harbor Freight, which is okay. I've never had a problem. I've never had a Harbor Freight socket break on me. Do have a flex 3/8 flex ball socket, so you can get at different angles, and boy has it come in handy. This one, I don't remember what it is. Mac, yeah. Yeah, I paid like $45 for this. Extensions, this is just one. I've got several, but I just have this one in here because it's easy to get to. Get yourself some extensions. Don't worry about getting the chrome stuff, just get stuff that's impact, okay with an impact. You don't really need to go with the chrome stuff. I like having a nice reducer 1/2 inch to 3/8. You just never know when you're going to need it. Most socket sets come with spark plug sockets, but if you ever plan on doing spark plugs, it's the only way to do it. And there's a piece of rubber inside this that cushions that. And what you might want to do is put some lube on that so the socket will come off easier from the spark plug when you get it put in. But you can't go wrong with a good set of sockets. I just picked these up. Wanted to give me a nice, easy to see, well marked impact sockets. This was only $26 on Amazon. And it goes up to 30mm, which is really nice to have something up that big. I'll see if I can't link it in the description, but this is well worth $26, $27. Big time. Then, I'd say, kind of important, your wrenches. This wrench holders come in handy. And thanks to my mother-in-law, I got these. So probably 10 years ago for Christmas. Ratchet wrenches. You can't go wrong with that. These have been pounded on, beaten into submission, and they still work. Absolutely a lifesaver, and they're a lot cheaper now than they were when these came out. These were $100 per set for gear wrench, and I think they're now like $80, maybe $70. I think you might even get them cheaper. Another thing that you need to get yourself a mallet. Nice heavy one. As you can see, I've had this one for a long time, and it comes in handy. And you gotta just beat on something. Oh, I laugh, but I've broken enough stuff to know that you have to be careful with this. Also, get yourself a cheap magnetic light. It's got a magnet on it. Like $4 or $5 I paid for this. But I'll tell you what, cheap magnet light, always nice to have around. As well as a cheap headlamp. Paid $12 or $13 for this. So you can, this one has kind of gimmick features, but it's a nice bright light. And it's rechargeable. Just overall worth the money. Also, if you ever want to look at doing brakes, you will have to push a piston back in on your brake caliper, and a C-clamp. It's very handy to have to push pistons back into calipers. And what I do is I put the old pad back into it, position this against the pad and on the back side of the caliper, and just start screwing down on it. It might take a little bit of pressure, but it'll push the piston back in without damaging the caliper or the piston. And I don't know if it's only Fords, but I know some Fords came with what is called a phenolic plastic piston, and you can break those really easily. I've done it. So you want to be careful with some Fords with those plastic pistons, but metal ones aren't too bad. But this is really worth money. So is, I kind of got the expensive version. This does the same thing. Basically the same thing. I just side with the brake, and that ratchets it. So, yeah, a little pricey, $35 I think it was, but it works. I Honestly, there are so many tools, but getting something like that would get you up and running, especially if you want to just do minor maintenance on things. I'd get you a nice, honestly, if you could ever pick up, you spend $160 to $200 on a single piece. 1/2-inch drive, battery powered, impact. That will be a lifesaver for getting your wheels on and off, getting lug nuts, even doing some really tough bolts and whatnot. So that's just a basic setup. Of course, there are so many tools. I have so many tools, I couldn't go through everything in a short video. It'd be like about an hour, 90-minute video to go through all my tools. But it's a start. So until next time, thanks for watching.